Okay, so welcome back, class. For this video lecture, we will only be talking about Section 116 on the percentage tax on persons exempt from VAT. Okay? Actually, dalawang video lectures po ito, dalawang magkahiwalay. Kasi sa susunod, right after this, which is still part of Section 116, we will be talking separately on self-employed professionals. But later on, papaliwanag ko po sa inyo bakit ihihiwalay natin. So dito muna, focus muna tayo sa Section 116. Kasi please remember, yung kinds of percentage taxes, mag-uumpisa yon sa Section 116, magtatapos sa Section 127. So this is the first part. Alright? So ano ba ang nakapaloob dito sa Section 116? On the tax on persons exempt from VAT, ito yung excerpt po natin sa Section 116 as amended by the Create Law. At yung amendment na ito ay etong nakahiwalay na kulay dito sa bandang baba. Although naka-emphasize dito, ano yung porsyento na i-apply natin na buwis para dito sa 116. Ang sinasabi kasi, class, under Section 116, and allow me to read it at sundan po ninyo ako, any person whose sales or receipts are exempt under Section 109, 1cc of the tax code from the payment of VAT and who is not a VAT registered person shall pay a tax equivalent to what? 3% based on his gross quarterly sales or receipts. Kasi, class, meron po tayong tinatawag na quarterly filing and payment. Payment kung meron tayong babayarang buwis. Filing kung sakaling wala, zero. Okay? Required pa rin kasi tayo mag-file kahit wala tayong mga benta sa isang quarter. Pero unlikely naman na wala tayong benta at all. Okay? So, sabi dito, ulitin ko lang ha, any person, okay, who sales or receipts. Pag sales, ito yung may binibenta kang mga produkto. Pag sales, nagpo-provide ka ng, pag receipts, more of collections, nagpo-provide ka ng mga services. That are exempt under Section 109. Mamaya, papakita ko po sa inyo. Or if you may recall, on a separate, on your own, kindly check, ano ba yung Section 109? But I hope, somehow, naalala pa ninyo ito or kung nakalimutan na ninyo, revisit po natin yung ating tax code. Okay? Pwede nyo naman puntahan si BIR, yung website ni BIR, or i-type sa Google, Tax Code Philippines. Makikita po ninyo yung tax code natin na nasa website ni BIR. Okay? Exempt from the payment of VAT and they are not a VAT registered person. Hindi po sila VATable entity. So they will be paying 3% based on gross sales or receipts. Okay? Provided that cooperative shall be exempt from the 3% gross receipts tax herein imposed, provided further. At eto na po ang addition natin, amendment based on the Create Law. Effective July 1, 2020, which was last year, or more than a year ago, kasi today is January 2022. From the moment that I am recording this is somewhere in January 2022. So, isa't kalahating taon ang nakalilipas, na effect. Okay, that is the effectivity of this Create Law for the applicable 1% tax rate on the percentage tax under Section 116. And this will be applicable until June 30 of 2023. Please take note, 3% yung ating percentage tax. But because of the Create Law, nagkaroon ng provision from July 1, 2020 hanggang June 30, 2023. Ilang taon ito? 21, 22, 23. 3 years, Ang rate na gagamitin under Section 116 ay 1%. paglagpas, no, pagkatapos beginning July 1, 2023, babalik na po tayo dito sa 3%. Okay? Sino yung mga liable po dito? Number 1, persons who are not VAT registered. Yung nakalagay dito, ano, na nagbebenta ng goods, properties, or services whose annual gross sales and or receipts do not exceed the 3 million threshold. Okay? Hindi ka VAT registered. Okay? Tapos nagbebenta ka or nagpo-provide ka ng services, as long as yung annual sa isang taon hindi lalagpas yung gross sales or receipts mo sa 3 million pesos. Kasi yan po yung ating VAT threshold. Okay? And are exempt from VAT of the NIRC. NIRC is National Internal Revenue Code o yung tax code, no? As amended by Create Law. Number 2, persons who lease residential units, no? Where the monthly rental per unit exceeds 15,000, but the aggregate of such rentals of the lessors during the year does not exceed 3 million. Don't worry. Ibibigay ko sa inyo sa susunod na slide yung summary po natin nito para masundan po ninyo. And this is an excerpt from one of my video lecture, if I'm not mistaken. Exempt person. Persons liable, etong mga nandito sa 1 and 2. Sino yung exempt? Hindi subject dito. Una, cooperatives, kasi nakalagay dito, di ba? Provided that cooperatives shall be exempt. Pangalawa, and this will be a separate discussion, sabi ko nga, yung mga SEP or the self-employed individuals and professionals sa income taxation. Okay? I don't know, no? Sa mga hindi ko naging estudyante, it should have been covered, no? Yung discussion on the SEP, mga self-employed and professionals. If you avail the preferential tax rate, which is 8%, no? Exempt ka na sa percentage tax because the preferential tax rate, no, is in lieu of your percentage tax. Okay? But we will talk about this on a separate, no? Meron akong i-emphasize sa inyo dyan. So please take note, who are the persons liable? 1 and 2. Who are the exempt persons? 1 and 2 also. Okay? Now, bigyan ko lang ng emphasis itong number 2 sa persons liable. Refer to next slide. Ito yon. And this is the guidance that I gave on a separate na video lecture, di ba? On the VATability of lease of residential units. Previously, di ba? Na-cover natin ito. So, asan siya dito? Ano bang sabi doon? No? More than 15? Ano sabi dito? Persons who lease residential units where the monthly rental per unit ay lumagpas ng 15,000 pero hindi lumagpas ng 3 million yung aggregate for the year. Okay? So, eto yon, ano? Monthly rental is greater than 15,000, lumagpas. Or sabihin na natin, ang monthly rental ay 17,000 or 20,000. O mahigit 15,000 yon. Pero, hindi automatic na vatable ka dyan. Check muna natin, assess muna natin, magkano yung annual receipts mo for the year. Kung lumagpas ka ng 3 million, ayan, subject ka sa VAT. Pero pag hindi ka lumagpas ng 3 million yung aggregate, ito yung subject to section 116. Sana ngayon klaro na po ito, no, nung diniscuss ko ito before. Kasi pag hindi ka lalagpas ng 15,000, VAT exempt yan. And I hope you still remember our discussion on this one. Okay? So that is the emphasis. Kaya ako dito sinabi, refer to next slide para ma-connect natin yung discussion natin before. Kung sakaling nakalimutan nyo na yan, balikan nyo po itong video lecture na ito on the VATability of lease of residential units. Okay? Hindi ko na ito i-cover, ha? Alright? So, na-discuss ko na ito before. Now, ano ba yung mga requisites o yung mga requirements para, ma-subject ka doon sa 3% na 1% currently, because of the Create Law. Na after July 1, by July 1, 2023, babalik sa 3%. Dapat, ito na yung mga highlight ko para mabigyan lang po ito ng DN. You should not be a VAT registered person. Una. Pangalawa, yung annual gross sales and or receipts hindi lalagpas ng 3 milyon. Okay? Pangatlo, not exempt from VAT under section 109. From A to BB. Ito, no, kinapture ko. Although mukhang maliit ito basahin, ano, baka malabo yung mga mata ninyo. Actually, nag-umpisa yan sa section 109, 1A, sale or importation of agricultural and marine food products. If you recall it, no? At syempre, A, B, C, D, E, F, G hanggang sa BB. At yung BB naman ay sale or importation of the following beginning January 1, 2021. Hindi ko na na-cover dito kasi maiksi na yung ating ano, no? Wala masyado tayong space. Pero paki-revisit na lang po nito yung mga exempt transactions. Okay? Hindi ka dapat exempt from VAT. Okay, so ito po yung ating requisites or yung mga requirements para ma-subject ka sa percentage tax under section 116. Okay. To be subjected to percentage tax under section 116, si taxpayer must not also be subject to other percentage tax under sections 117 to 127. Okay? Kasi magkakaiba yan eh. Section 116 is for tax on persons exempt from VAT. Iba naman yung nasa 117, 118 hanggang 127. So ang tinutukoy lang natin dito, kung subject ka na sa 116, hindi ka subject sa iba. Kasi kung subject ka, let's say, sa franchise tax. Okay? So hindi ka na subject sa 116. So we will talk about these different sections on separate video lectures. Of course, for the reference material, succeeding slides lang ito. No? Okay? O anong tax base? Pag sale of goods, gross sales. Pag sale of services, gross receipts. Kaya nga, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Pag nagbenta ka ng produkto, ang basis natin, gross sales. Pag nagpo-provide ka ng mga services, ang basis natin is the gross receipts. Tandaan po ninyo yan ha. Don't intertwine. Huwag pagbaligtarin. Alright? That is the tax basis. Formula or guide po natin. Ano? Ang tax base natin is the gross sales or gross receipts. Imo-multiply, please take note, yung gross, hindi yung net. Okay? Kasi baka for classroom purposes, for computation, baka mag-provide ng pagkadami-dami sa damakmak na information ng mga data, may mga net-net pa, ano? As long as alam natin, tanda natin, we are talking of the gross sales or receipts, yan yung ating tax base. Imo-multiply natin yan doon sa tax rate. Eto no, before July 1, 2020, 3% yan. Currently, it is 1%. And then after June 30, it will be 3%. Multiply natin dyan sa tax base, that is our percentage tax due. Okay? I hope maliwanag ito, no, mga kapatid. Alright? Sige. Meron namang option to register under the VAT system. And if I'm not mistaken, kung tama yung recollection ng aking memory sa discussion natin ng value-added tax, parang nahahagip na rin ito eh. Kahit na non-VAT ka, you have the option to register under the VAT system. Okay? Because, ito no, as a guide, these are the summary rules. Kung yung annual gross sales or receipts mo ay more than 3 million, okay, you are subject to VAT. Generally, unless you are VAT exempt. Ano? Pero pag 3 million and below, you are generally subject to other percentage tax under section 116. Pero if you opt, pag pinili mo na magpa-register under VAT system, okay lang naman din kasi. Diba? Ang sinasabi lang natin, pag umaabot mo yung 3 million, ano, or lumagpas ka sa 3 million, I mean, you are required to be registered under the VAT system. Pero kung 3 million and below ka, okay lang naman if you stick to the OPT or if you want to register. Pero once it becomes, if once you are registered, no, It shall be irrevocable for 3 consecutive years. Okay? So please take note of this of this rule. Irrevocable, hindi mo pwedeng mabawi. Okay? Illustration tayo para masundan natin itong discussion. ABC Company, which is a non-VAT registered trader of electronic products, has the following data for the year 2021. Okay? Daming info, no? Alamin natin mamaya kung ano yung tanong, ha? But tignan po ninyo mabuti. Gross receipts, 1.8. Purchases on account from VAT suppliers, net, 1.2. Payments made to VAT suppliers, 800K. Purchases on account from non-VAT suppliers, 200K. Payments made to non-VAT suppliers, 80K. And then operating expenses, 400K. Ano ang tanong? Okay? The question is, first question, ano daw yung applicable business tax at ano yung amount na babayaran for the year? Okay? Meron tayong mga guides dyan para ma-identify natin ito ba ay OPT or VAT. Okay? So you can you can pause this video lecture and then you can study this further if you need time. And then pag okay ka na sa sagot mo, you can play it again para after this one, mapapakita ko na sa inyo yung sagot. Okay? So, the answer for this first question is 1% other percentage tax. Kasi, ito, hinighlight ko, although mukhang hindi tama yung aking piniling color. At least kita naman, because ABC is a non-VAT registered. Hindi siya VAT registered. Tapos, yung gross receipts niya, hindi naman lumagpas ng 3 milyon. So, OPT lang siya subject. At dahil currently, nasa taon tayo kung saan pasok doon sa, create law, na yung provision ng create law. So, 1% lamang po tayo. Therefore, 1% OPT amounting to 18,000 because 1,800,000 imumultiply lang po natin ng 1%. Pero kung sinabi diyan prior to July 1, 2020, imumultiply natin ito ng 3%. So 18,000 times 3, 54,000 yon. O kaya naman after June 30, 2023, balik 3% tayo. Okay? So I hope nasundan po ninyo ito. Next question tayo. Assuming etong si ABC Company or etong entity ay nag-register sa VAT system. Ano yung applicable business tax and the amount due for the year? Okay? Pause. And then solve for it and play the button for the answers. Because the answer for this is obvious. In terms of what is the applicable business tax, ang sagot natin ay the VAT. And then, yung VAT payable natin na 72,000. Ngayon, baka tanungin ninyo ako sandali. Sir, paano na-compute? Kasi mali yung aking sagot. Okay? We are talking about the VAT payable here. When we are talking of the VAT payable, we have to offset the output VAT from the input VAT. Okay? Or I mean, output VAT from the, i-offset natin yung input VAT from the output VAT para malaman natin magkano yung VAT payable. So, hindi ito yung gross receipts na 1,800,000 times 12%, yun na agad yun. That is only the output VAT. Okay? Ito yung sagot natin dyan. Yung guide, yung solution guide natin. 1.8 times 12%, 216,000. That is your output VAT. Yung input VAT natin is 1.2. Ayan, di ba? Purchases on account from VAT suppliers, 1.2 million times 12%. So, 216 minus 144, the answer is 72,000. Okay? So, 12% VAT po ito. Because, nag-opt siya, pinili niya na magpa-register under the VAT system. Alright? Another illustration. We have XYZ Corporation, which is also a non-VAT registered entity engaged in trading consumer products. For the year, nakapag-generate siya ng 3.2 million. Okay? Ano yung applicable business tax and the amount due for the year? Now, please take note, when we are talking of business tax, it can either be value-added tax or other percentage tax because business taxes naman po yung mga yan. Okay? So, ano yung applicable business tax at magkano? You can pause to compute and then you go back to play to find the answer. The answer will be this one. 12% VAT of 3.2 million amounting to 384,000. Kasi although hindi VAT registered, kasi non-VAT siya, di ba? Ito din, binabasa ko lang, tinatagalog ko lang. Si XYZ will be liable to the 12% VAT kasi lumagpas na ng VAT threshold na 3 million. Kasi magkano ba yung kanyang total sales? O 3.2, di ba? Remember, if you are providing nagsisell ka ng mga goods, ang basis natin is the gross sales. Pag nagpo-provide ka ng services, gross receipts tayo. Okay? Kaya nga po, balikan ko lang kanina, baka bigla pala ako ninyong tanungin, Sir, bakit hindi yung payments to VAT suppliers? Kasi po, trader of electronic products. Okay, nagbebenta siya. So, tawag nito, doon sa ating gross sales dapat, di ba? Tapos, ayan, for purchases on account, we have to get this one and not the payments. Alright? Sige, balikan lang po natin ito. Liable pa rin siya sa 12% kasi lumagpas siya sa VAT threshold under the train law. Yun nga lang, although hindi complete yung information, this 3.2, etong 384,000 supposedly is our output VAT. Okay. Now, walang info about the purchases, di ba? Para sa input VAT. Pero tandaan ninyo, kahit given yan. Kasi, supposedly, non-VAT siya, tapos lumagpas siya sa 3 million threshold, dapat magpa-register na siya into the VAT system. Kung sakali na nakalimutan niya or hindi siya nakapag-register, okay? Hindi niya maipapasa yung it cannot pass to customers the applicable output VAT and is not entitled to input VAT credit. So hindi siya entitled doon sa input VAT. All right? Hindi rin niya maipapasa yung applicable output VAT. Please revisit our discussion on this one. Okay? So dito kailangan niya pa ring magbayad ng 384,000. Kahit na non-VAT siya kasi lumagpas na siya doon sa 3.2. Okay? So hanggang dito muna tayo, class, because the next discussion will be about the self-employed professional or the SEP under the train law, but in relation to section 116. Okay? So kasi medyo mahaba-haba na ng konti ito at yung pangako ko naman palagi is maiksi ito as much as possible. So hanggang dito muna tayo. Maraming salamat. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll try to answer all your questions. I'll see you again sa next video lecture. Bye-bye.